Hey everybody, I'm here with Terry Mandel, and I'm really excited to share with all of you about the Steve Mandel Memorial Music Scholarship Fund, which is a source of funding for scholarships for musicians of all ages who want to study acoustic music. And that could be at camps, it could be online classes, and it could be through a school program of some kind. And so I've asked Terry to explain more about this, and I'm sharing links below so that if you want to donate to the fund and or apply for funding for your own instruction, or someone that you know who wants to study acoustic music on any instrument, um, that you can find those links below. So Terry, thank you so much for everything you're doing with this resource, which is amazing for me as someone who's run fiddle camps for over 22 years. And I have with a nonprofit, and this is what we do. We promote, music education. We're always coming up with people that, they want help to get funded to learn more. So where do we start? What else did I miss? What would you like to share with people?
So, a little background for a lot of your audience may be too young to remember, but there was a movie in 1972 called Deliverance. In that movie, there was a tune called Dueling Banjos, and it was actually a banjo and a guitar. You can look you can look it up on YouTube if you want to hear it, see it on the film clip. But that is correct. So Steve Mandel was my late husband. We were together for 45 years, and he was the guitar half of Dueling Banjos. So what you saw on the movie was actually two actors portraying this music encounter. But what you heard was Steve Mandel on guitar and Eric Weisberg on banjo. And they went on to um, play and promote that tune, which was never supposed to have been a record, but Warner Brothers saw how popular it became. They recorded it, they slapped it on a record. The band went out and toured with it. But I met Steve when he was playing with Judy Collins in 1973. And I married him in 1974. And again, a studio musician, recording musician, touring musician. He had a long history of music in New York City until the music industry went synthesized in New York in the 80s. We moved down to the Baltimore area and joined the great music community down here in Baltimore and Washington area. And Steve became integrated into that community uh, until he passed in 2018. He passed after a 20-year battle with cancer. And so we wanted to keep his memory alive and his love of music alive and his involvement in the community. So in 2018, we started thinking about how to do this. And in 2019, we launched the Steve Mandel Memorial Music Scholarship Fund with the assistance of Common Ground on the Hill, which is a nonprofit arts entity. We are an umbrella, a nonprofit under Common Ground on the Hill. And we go from festival to festival and promote the love of music, the learning of music from festivals and from various concerts in the area. We're based in the Mid-Atlantic region, but we spread all the way down to Virginia, and we've gone all the way up to Gray Fox in New York with our love of music and our sponsorship of these programs. We've sponsored several kids' academies. And the way to apply is just to send in an application from the web link that you have below, or come and see us on one of the various festivals. We're going to be in Virginia, we're going to be in West Virginia, we're going to be in Pennsylvania. And we have a Facebook presence that you can check, the Steve Mandel Memorial Music Facebook page, Facebook Fund page, and see where we're going to be and see where we've been. And the way we get our funding is by generous donations from parents and music lovers. And also at our booth, when you see our Facebook page, you'll see that we have various items that we have for sale. I make jewelry, and 50% of those proceeds go towards the scholarship fund. And we have raffles. I have 3 ukuleles up for raffle this season, of different types, different sizes. And those proceeds, 100% of those proceeds go towards the scholarship fund. So we have been able since 2019 when we launched to award 32 scholarships of $500 or more. We have 2 students who have been awarded scholarships who live in India but are taking virtual lessons. We have students who are taking lessons from local professionals. We have students who have attended camps. We have 2 students who have been awarded scholarships to go to Berklee School of Music. So we're just all around sharing our love of music.
I love it. I love it. And by the way, for anybody listening, I'll probably publish this on the audio podcast as well. So want to make sure you can find the links. We'll put them um, in the podcast notes as well, so that you can find where to donate and or where to apply for funding. So let me ask you a question. I know that all ages from age 8 to over 70 have received scholarships. How do
Yes.
you define acoustic music, or do you define acoustic music? Because obviously, like bluegrass counts as acoustic music, maybe old time fiddle, maybe Celtic fiddle, but also would like if people wanted to learn like swing and or jazz, would that also count as acoustic music?
Absolutely, absolutely. We consider acoustic not plugged in.
Got it.
Basically, any stringed instrument. I have a hammered dulcimer student who's taken from one of the local instructors here. We have various fiddle recipients. We have bass, big bass fiddle. We have we can I can find you a connection for a dulcimer, a lap dulcimer for an Appalachian dulcimer
Wow,
instructor if you'd like to learn. So
amazing.
yeah, basically any stringed or acoustic instrument. So that wouldn't include a plugged in keyboard. It wouldn't include an electric guitar if you wanna play rock and roll. But if you wanna learn jazz, if you wanna learn Celtic music, anything like that, absolutely. We don't limit ourselves to just bluegrass.
That's amazing. I love that. And people can use this for, can people apply for funding towards like private lessons online? Am I hearing that correctly as well?
That's correct. My 2 recipients in India are taking virtually from US instructors.
Wow.
Um, I have one teenager who learned from a fabulous instructor named Ira Gitlin, who is local here in the DC area. Ira instructed him on banjo. They met one time when he came down from northern Pennsylvania to meet up with Ira, and he actually was awarded or allowed to play last year at the youth programming from IBMA. So he was on the youth stage at IBMA. He applied and he was awarded that honor. And he also, when they did the IBMA youth interview on Bluegrass Unlimited, he appears in that as well. So we're very proud of our recipients. We haven't turned anybody down yet. So as long as the funds keep coming in, we will award the scholarships. I don't make the decisions. I have 7 professionals on my board, on my advisory board. I send out the application to them, usually within 1 or 2 weeks, because they're all traveling and professional musicians. Within 1 or 2 weeks, I'll get all the approvals back. I'll send it out. And what happens is the award gets awarded to the recipient, but the recipient will then send the invoice to the camp or the invoice from the instructor to Common Ground on the Hill, and Common Ground will pay the camp or the instructor directly. So no funds actually hit the hands of the recipients.
Understood. Yeah, that's beautiful. Um, and IBMA is, for anybody that doesn't know, that's the International Bluegrass Music Association.
Correct.
Um, Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, so how involved is the application? What do people have to do? What questions are they, do they answer?
So it basically looks something like this when they download it. And it asks them their name, what they want to do, whether it's a music camp, a kids academy, private lessons, group lessons, a college music course. That's on the front. And then on the back, it's got two basic questions. Um, Please explain your financial need in applying for the scholarship, what scholarship amount would help further your training, and then please describe your current ability or involvement in American acoustic music. Use appropriate examples, anecdotes, where you've been, what you've done. So it's very simple, two paragraphs along with completing the form. It can either be emailed to the email address or mailed by snail mail to me. My address is on the back of the form, and certainly, yeah, they can send in the application. Same thing with the donor. There is an online donor form. If you see me at a festival, you can grab one of these. Any amount is fabulous, and you'll get a tax receipt if you donate online, or if you send this in, or want to give it to me at one of the festivals that you see me at.
It's a charitable deduction or charitable
Yes,
donation, which will earn you a deduction on your taxes. In other words,
correct,
yeah,
correct.
because it's
Yeah,
all 501(c)(3) connected nonprofit, like vetted and approved and all that stuff. And you guys have been around for,
yeah,
yeah, 6 years. I mean, that's amazing. And if I remember correctly, um, you guys, it's up to 500 towards a camp and up to 1,000 towards a school. Is that correct?
correct. Yes,
And how does
yes.
that pertain towards something like private lessons? What is that category?
Generally, a private lesson will be a $500 grant.
Mhm.
Most of our instructors are between 50 and $75 an hour. So it can get you 10 lessons, which will get you well on your way. And Yeah, I mean, we've had one of our first recipients from 2019 is now instructing herself on fiddle. Her name is Alani Sugar, and she's got a band called Ghost Sugar, and she kind of travels around. And she has been a great promoter and help. Another one who also was one of our first recipients, her name is Kalinda Blankenship, and Kalinda just started an all-girl band called the Black Eyed Susies, and she is going to be appearing here locally at a couple of venues and a couple of festivals. And so they're going on. So she is a banjo player who studied under Mike Munford, if you know that name. Mike is a very popular banjo player who's played with a number of various acts. So yeah, we've got a ton of recipients and some great um, some great promotion from both our instructors, including Grant Gordy and Ira Gitlin. And basically, the more we spread the word, the more people that we can get involved in acoustic music and love acoustic music. There's so many cutbacks in the arts in the schools right now that a lot of schools are even cutting back on orchestra and band and all of that. So we want to keep the love of music alive as long as we can and as much as we can, and share spread the word. And it obviously, we went international last year in India, and we're going long and strong. So like us on Facebook, share us on Facebook, and come and catch us at one of the festivals. We'll be uh, the end of this month. We're going to be at Graves Mountain Festival in Syria, Virginia, and then the Deer Creek Fiddlers Convention in on June 2nd in Westminster, Maryland. We're going to be at the Chrisfield Bluegrass and Sunset Festival in Chrisfield, Maryland, the middle of June, and the Remington Ride Festival we've been a sponsor at for the longest time, and they're in Central Hall, PA. So you'll find our full schedule, but we just keep busy, on weekends because I'm still working full time. So this is a love of my life to do on weekends and to share with those who love music and want to share the love of acoustic music.
Thank you for everything you're doing, and again, for everybody listening or watching, I'll have the links below. And or otherwise, you can reach out to me, Chris at christianhouse.com. Terry, I want to let you know I'm hoping to be in Maryland in late January. I'm going to be visiting some school orchestra programs up there. I visit a lot of schools and teach the kids in orchestra. And I'm excited about this because we have students that come to our Creative Strings workshop every summer in Asheville. I also have students that, want to take lessons from me and my online courses. So we're excited to share this with them and also for students who want to study with all the great instructors and camps and schools and programs out there. So thanks again for everything you're doing.
Great, and I welcome you to Maryland when you come. Please touch base with me.